the officers, talking to them, yelling, waving at them, looking from behind, throwing things out of the window, but at a slow rate of speed. So that was the good part of it. As you see on your screen on the right part of the window of your TV, you can see moments before how he was hanging outside the driver's side window right there, taunting police or who knows who he was talking to, waving his arm, gesturing. So this was quite a bizarre scene just moments ago before this standoff situation right here on Ventura Boulevard and Sepulveda, but clearly still talking. This suspect not fully out of this tow truck quite yet, halfway in, halfway out with the door open. You don't know what he's saying and his state of mind, which is clearly always the big issue. We don't know the state of mind of these suspects when something like this happens in terms of, you know, why this whole situation started to begin with.
Right. You know, was it a crime of opportunity? Was it something else? You know, usually we never find out. Law enforcement, this is the one thing they really have on their side right now, and it's time. We've heard this many times before when talking to officers about standoff situations or anything where a suspect is just out of reach of going into custody. Law enforcement, they will wait it out. They don't have a clock. They don't have to. They can stay here as long as they need to. That suspect eventually is going to have to make a decision. Hopefully it's going to be the one to just kind of walk over there or do what the officers are telling them to do and just go into custody. Somebody was pointing out, we all know it, the Galleria, totally for sure, right there, very close by. This is a popular spot, kind of showing everybody where this is in case you don't know the area. That might be a landmark that you can go, oh, I know exactly where this is. Ventura Boulevard right now is going to be closed in both directions right here at Sepulveda as this standoff continues. Right now, the driver of that stolen pickup truck, very agitated, speaking a lot. It looks like he's out of the vehicle. Hopefully they can coax him just a little more. Just get out just a little more, walk clear from that door, go into custody, do what those officers say, and we can bring this to an end, and hopefully it won't create a traffic nightmare for a lot of commuters out here in the Sherman Oaks area or the Valley, as it would be right now, though. Ventura Boulevard closed in both directions, and it did look like they were still letting some of that traffic southbound, but that may have changed as well. They got a black and white there, so now Sepulveda Boulevard closed in both directions as well. The standoff, well, that's what's going on. Officers from LAPD, they're out here right now. It's going to be a little bit of a waiting game. Let that guy cool off a little bit. Perhaps that's all he needs, or we'll see. Maybe they might make an active attempt to take him into custody. But again, law enforcement at LAPD, they don't want to see anybody get injured, even a suspect. In a situation where this agitated suspect like that, you just don't know, and they just don't want to create more problems. So right now, the waiting game, that's the answer.
That's right, and I'm sure they're talking to him, trying to calm him down, trying to have him follow directions. Usually we see at the end of pursuits like this, a suspect come out, walk away from the vehicle, lie down on the ground, and then put their arms behind their back. So that's what we're hoping to see at some point. But again, as you say, patience, right? Time. And that's what they're doing in terms of the law enforcement response to this. Also, with some weapons drawn, non-lethal, and obviously their equipment that they have, but clearly trying to tell this guy, hey, give it up now. It's not worth it, right? Walk away from that tow truck.
Right, you know, and I've seen this, you know, I've been on the ground. It's been a minute since I've been down there when something like this was happening. A lot of times the officers really, they don't even interact. They just let that suspect ramble and you know, say whatever they need to say, and the officers are just waiting it out. They have professionals. There's parts of LAPD, the negotiators, crisis negotiators. If they're not here, the best bet for a lot of these officers is basically just let this guy talk, let him talk it out. It's what probably a lot of folks are doing at home right now. Just let Stu talk it out. You know, and it's just a kind of more of a standoff than anything else. You can see another tow truck there on scene. I don't know if that's from the same company or not, or if it's just a coincidence, but it's another AAA tow truck that's in that area. So making a U-turn and leaving. But right now, LAPD, they've got that suspect, you know, right where they want him? Definitely not. That if that tow truck can still drive and that guy decides, you know what, I'm going to give it another shot. I'm going to get back in and just start driving again. It's going to be on and going, even with the number of officers that are here. They're not going to block them in. They're not going to try to create a problem where somebody gets injured, be it an officer and or that suspect. Those spike strips clearly still right there on the road. They've actually added another one. So there's 3 of them right now just on that roadway. We've seen that driver swerve around him in the past. But right now, though, just kind of that driver talking it out. And hopefully he'll get out what he needs to get out and just start following the commands and just let himself up. He's getting off. He's getting back. He's got both feet on the ground. This is the first time he's actually doesn't have a foot inside that truck. Let's see what LAPD does from here on.
Right. He's definitely animated, waving his arm, talking. As you mentioned, a lot of the officers stone-faced and just letting him do what he has to do. They're waiting it out, as you see right there. But clearly, you know, this is impeding traffic and the public, and safety is an issue in that area. But the good news is nobody was hurt in all of this, and there were no collisions to report as we were watching for some 50 minutes now since this pursuit began back in Westwood at around Westwood and Sawtell. So clearly that is the good news. But you see him, okay, he's turning around.
Yeah.
Maybe he's realizing that he's stuck. Oh, he is still talking, though. It looks like he's trying to make his case or make a point. He does have something in his hand that
he's got the money out. We found the money. We found the money. Hope he's not trying to bribe any of those officers with that. That's not going to work, and it's just going to be another charge against him. That's a little levity right there. But anyways, you can see that he's definitely communicating with those officers. Hopefully, he's like you said, he did do that little turnaround, probably showing them that, you know, hey, look, I don't have any weapons. But that's not enough. You've got to make your way closer to those officers. They're going to put you into custody and see where it goes from there. Right now, though, like you said, I'm kind of a little bit more concerned with all these folks that are not being able to get where they need to go. Seems like a lot of U-turns were made there on Sepulveda Boulevard on those southbound lanes. You can see that there's all those vehicles have cleared, but this group right here, they're kind of stuck in it. And I don't know why they're not trying to make U-turns and just try to get away from here and try to find another way around it. But as it goes for the actual pursuit, the vehicle has stopped that person out of the vehicle, and it looks like he's actually starting to move farther and farther away from the truck, which is a great sign. But again, just kind of slow moving, and they're just taking it one step at a time, literally.
Yeah, it's almost like he's counting money there, counting something in his hand, looking at papers or something. We had video earlier of him driving really slowly on that disabled tow truck because one of the tires was really bald or on its rim, and he was throwing out money, it looked like, in the air, and at one point did graze or clip another vehicle, as we see earlier video on the right-hand side of your screen as he was trying to maneuver. There he clipped that truck, the cement truck, and lost a side rear view mirror. But that was pretty much moments before this standoff situation right here on Ventura Boulevard and Sepulveda. So there you see police officers trying to tell him, hey, move to the side, get away from the tow truck. And there he is, talking to them. But at least he's away from that tow truck at this point, Stu.
Definitely. And, you know, it is that moments of calm, moments of reassurance. Those officers are kind of just telling them, hey, look, just walk away from the truck, get a little bit farther away. You know, will they rush him? They could, they might. But again, right now, it's just time. And as long as the officers have time on their side, they always do, they're going to be able to take this guy into custody. A lot of those folks, though, that are sitting there on Ventura Boulevard, they might not have time on their side. I really do feel for a lot of those folks. Hopefully they'll be able to watch us on the app, perhaps. But right now, that suspect getting a little bit farther away from the tow truck every couple of minutes. It's, you know, it's just like the chase itself. It was very slow going. Maybe this just needs a little time to get farther away from the truck. But as soon as they they get to a point, they might actually run over there and try to take him into custody. They do that pile-on type of situation, but it does look like he's actually slowly making his way another couple of steps, one step at a time, getting closer to those officers, and that's all they want him to do, get it close enough where they can put the cuffs on him, take him into custody, clear the roadway, and call it a day.
Obviously agitated, arguing or yelling about something, trying to make his case, maybe trying to explain himself. Who knows what he's saying, right? And the mental state and the emotional state of someone like this. So they're trying to deal with this the best as possible. And they're professionals. Again, they're trained.
There we go.
They know what to do. And here it goes.
There we go.
All right.
Yep.
Glad to see that.
And just really nice and smooth.
Yep.
Yeah, you got the cuffs on him. Going to bring this to an end. So this all coming to an end. Hopefully there were no injuries with it before we got here, but it does look like that tow truck is, they're going to clear it. And it seems to be all taken care of. That suspect in custody. Hopefully they have these roadways opened up shortly.
All right, Stu, thank you so much. And your pilot up there in Skyfox for being over that. Of course, we thank you also for joining us with this breaking news, Fox 11 News. We'll be back at 4 o'clock with much more. Back to programming.
Like pickleball?
What's that?
It's like a cheap man's tennis.
Okay. All right.
So you play like in half of a tennis court.
Okay.
But it's like ping pong because it's like plastic.
Okay.
And I met my husband playing kickball.
Did you?
I am afraid of the ball, so I ran the other way.
Yeah, got
but
you.
I still got a husband, so
there you go. There you go. Well, welcome. It's great to have you all here. All right, in this round, each letter is worth 20 points, and hidden in each puzzle is a wager word. If you land on it, you can bet as many points as you want on that answer.